They could still switch it over to the Alistar, but it looks like they're going to let the Corki lock in. Yep.
They should definitely take the Alistar here. Plus Alistar, okay. So they go for one of the strongest lanes in the game instead. Lots of dive pressure and try and make that work.
I mean, taking the Graves away would be pretty significant against Peanut because with Kindred global ban, Nidalee banned already, Graves taken away, you know, what do you play?
Elise. And Peanut's a perfectly good Elise player. And it'll set up picks for them too, depending on how much pressure they want to put down in the mid and side lanes. Rek'Sai, possibility actually. Okay,
all
so
right. Rek'Sai Trundle.
Big disengage with the Trundle. I still have a feeling that Ixu can play this in the top lane if he wants to.
Peanut having a great time as usual. We'll see what he picks up though. He's like, well guys, they banned my Nidalee. It's your fault. No Faye. Your fault.
Well, the Lulu is still here. I have a feeling the Tigers should just take the Lulu right now because it is a flex pick at the very least for them, and that'll allow them to maneuver that Lulu into whichever lane, solo lane, they feel like it after they see the rest of the picks. Graves Lulu, I think, would be really strong. They've got the double AD carries already.
I mean, leaving Lulu open for a team that already has Rek'Sai and Trundle too is pretty dangerous.
Well, the Quinn
is open. That's right. All right.
So will be the Quinn taken by Smeb, one of his better champions, and of course providing that huge amount of ability, and it looks like they just want to completely out-macro the Afreeca Freecs, just use the faster rotations with the Quinn ultimate, and that's how Smeb has bamboozled teams in the past.
Oh, the Zed is unbanned, and we talked about Mickey's Zed for a long time. It's been banned against him pretty much every game until today.
Wow, blind picking Zed. I would love to see that.
We might.
The balls.
I doubt it, but we might.
We've seen him do it before last year. He did do it last year, and he did win games doing that last year. So this is a guy who's supremely confident in his Zed, and that is why it has been banned in the vast majority of games against Afreeca. And with the Lissandra, they would set up, especially with Corki too. Think about the ganks with the Corki package and Lissandra E. They just have an insane amount of burst.
And it's going to be locked in. Zed Lissandra, so Mickey's famous Zed.
All right, this is a huge pick comp.
Yeah.
For the Afreeca Freecs, and you got to take the Lulu right there, because as soon as you see that, you're like, okay, well, I don't really want to deal with this in the mid lane, and I don't want to have that kill pressure, so I'm going to take the Lulu. By the time Zed is 6, I will have my wild growth, so I'm at least able to survive a Zed all in.
Yeah.
And I assume they predicted the Lulu pick right there, considering it was still available. So now it's up to how hard can they shut down Smeb. That has been Afreeca's game plan in the first 2 games. Gank Smeb over and over and over again. They have a champion that can at least split push against the Quinn with the Zed. Of course, that blind is a little bit of an issue for the Zed, but not going to affect the spellcasting that Zed has. So we'll see how well Smeb can outplay the Zed. It should be pretty fun to watch if they do get into some 1v1s.
Yeah, well, I'm just excited to see Mickey Zed again. It's been a long time. It's the first time this year that he's been able to grab it.
I mean, it's not great against Lulu Alistar, honestly. Like, he's taking a risk here, but yeah. I think that if you're Afreeca, you at least got to the game 3 against the Tigers, so why not just roll the dice that Mickey's going to go off and just absolutely wreck this game on his best champion?
Definitely. Just take what makes you most comfortable and see what happens. And so that leaves us with a very interesting game 3. Game 3 we didn't think we'd have, but here we have it anyway. And so we'll see, will the ROX Tigers remain undefeated in the league, or will Afreeca Freecs take down the top dog? Let's get in the game and find out. Well, we'll see who rules game number 3 at least, between the Afreeca Freecs and the ROX Tigers.
Yeah, it's been an interesting series. I really like the way Afreeca's been playing today, and this is the development that we expected after last year, honestly, for them to have tightened up their team play, but yeah, only really seeing it for the first time. in this best of 3, but both games, they've had some nice moves. If it hadn't been for that viewer in game 1, I think they really did have a good shot to win it. Kuro here. Whoa, Kuro.
Gotta be careful, man. I mean, that pillar's gonna cause him to take a lot of damage.
He's got glitter lines, whatever.
Just recall too.
So they see Quinn rather on a ward in the top side, so the lane swap is going to be occurring. They want to try and avoid this very strong Kalista Alistar lane as long as possible.
Oop.
So that means, here we go. Sangyun and Snowflower now walking up into the top side. They will be taking the Gromp rather, and they hide as long as they can. So pings going down mean that the swap has been sniffed out, and with the ward at the Krugs, ROX Tigers are there, and they're just going to walk in and try and disrupt this red bomb as 2. Oh,
wow,
boy!
Yeah. Wow, flash pulverized. Lyra and Ixu having to burn a flash just to get away, and they're going to prevent this red from being taken. It looks like Ixu and Lyra coming back in. It's a fight. There's the exhaust onto Lyra. They're going to go for it. Lyra very, very low. He's already burned his flash. Gorilla low too. This is crazy. Another pulverize comes in. First blood goes to Prey, and now Ixu pursued flash for flash. And that's a double kill for Prey at 2 minutes into the game.
Whoops.
Well, that worked well for the ROX Tigers, didn't it?
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about that. That was enabled by the warding that the Tigers did right at level 1. So they get a sneaky little ward down to the bottom side because they think the lane swap might be coming through. Then we have Smeb put the ward down onto the Gromp into the top lane. And so as soon as they see the attempt at the Gromp steal, because the ROX Tigers were already positioned in the brush by the lane next to the Krugs, they know that the Afreeca Freecs aren't there, and then they punish them for the weak side clear. And then when it comes to the 2v2, you've got Exhaust, you have the heal against a TP and a Smite. Those spells are useless in that 2v2 at level 1. So there's almost no chance they can win that, and then they way overestimate their ability to continue fighting, especially because the Rend was there, and that just does so much damage, even at level 1. So really nicely played, but they re-engaged and Gorilla still had that exhaust up. I feel like they should have known what was going to happen.
Well, I mean, it was really good commitment early on with Gorilla using that flash pulverize, because basically they forced Lyra to flash and then forced him to choose to either come back in and try to get that red buff or just give up the red buff. And
yeah.
Made their own choice.
Lyra started Q, so he didn't have the tunnel out. He had to use the flash because he got trapped in the pit. And now with this lane swap, we see 3 people coming on, and look how much this delayed it. Guess who's not there in the top side? It's going to be Ixu. So it's a one-man push effectively onto the top turret, and this has delayed their ability to actually take the tower in the lane swap, and this is just going to be devastating for the Freecs.
Should be able to trade though, it's just they'll be a little bit slower.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they are going to be able to trade Doa. That's the thing. It's going to be really slow. And at the very least, Smeb is going to be the big winner here. Yeah, they will be able to trade.
Yeah.
One wave later. But Smeb, oh, he's going to get a lot out of this.
Yeah, nice big wave coming in.
And they're going to drag.
Go right for a dragon too, yeah. Very ambitious dragon. Gorilla taking a lot of damage. Lyra really low against the Krugs.
Excellent early game plan for the Tigers. I really like that. That was such... we talk about the Tigers being several steps ahead, but they predicted that lane swap. They did it really nicely. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know about this dragon.
There they go.
Man.
They finally got the last shot.
Smite, right? Okay, there we go.
They got the last shot of the Spiderlings. It was being weird about leashing to the Spiderlings right there. But they had the execute damage from the leash, and they had the Smite, so they get it in the end.
So 2 kills, a dragon, and they trade turrets in the first 5 minutes.
Yes, but look what's happening with Smeb compared to Lissandra right now. Even though they took the tower, Prey was the one who... So they left Gorilla there to help take out the dragon, and Prey immediately recalls and starts pushing. So Lissandra is going to be in big trouble. Just can't get on this wave, especially now that Lissandra is there. There's a big ward in the tri-brush that Prey put down. So he doesn't know whether or not Elise is going to be coming, and he's going to be zoned off this wave. Meanwhile, take a look at the bottom side. Smeb 19-4 CS already.
Yep. Really ask for a better start on that Quinn.
Yep, they can dive Lysandra too. That's the worst part. Lysandra's only level 2, Smeb is level 4. This is just a train wreck for the Afreeca Freecs. They're already down over 1,000 gold in 5 minutes. Here comes Peanut for the zone. Going to use that Pillar of Ice, and Rek'Sai now going to be walking up. But they're going to get zoned off this turret, and guess what? Guess who has pressure in the mid lane? It's Kuro, and he's just going to walk up here too.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, they're going to catch Snowflower actually with that cocoon. Snowflower doesn't use the flash quite yet. Takes a lot of damage though.
Look how many minions are going to be lost here just in this turret. They're going to get 3 people underneath the tower finally. There's a duel actually going on in the river between Kuro and Mickey.
Nobody really using or losing any health yet.
Just a ridiculous amount of CS denied. Smeb is quite happy though.
Yep, you can just sit and farm. Whoops, very safely.
I think he misclicked right there.
Yeah, well, I think Sangin is trying to stand on top of the minion to deny the CS. Look on me instead. Oh, Mickey coming in. He's got no flash right now too. That duel must have been bigger than we thought. Wild Growth used. And yeah, that Death Mark not going to do the trick. Mickey is going to live through the Ignite, but they're still going to take some damage on that turret because of this.
He uses flash.
That's what I was wondering, yeah, because he didn't have his flash up, but I don't know, must have been some earlier engagement that we didn't see because of all the other action.
Well, it must have been Kuro forcing it out really early.
Yeah.
Or he just mistakenly used it. That's another possibility because we never really even saw his health dropping low. Maybe I just missed it.
Could have been. Either way, it wasn't up when you needed it there. And the Rift Herald will go over to Peanut, as the buff often does. To the jungler, right where Riot intended.
Most popular Herald buff location. Kuro's going to get chunked out. He has to play cautiously, even though Death Mark isn't up. The Ignite is. Better just play with a bit of reserve, especially with the massive advantage you have in who Doa is going to stop Smeb.
Well, right now it's not going to be Ixu, that's for sure. Maybe it'll be Lyra and Sonyun though. Smeb having to burn that flash to get away. Still taking quite a bit. And they're going to go in actually. Summoner Heal used to get Smeb, and they're going to actually make it work. Lyra not going down.
That was so close to being a kill onto Lyra. He lived with about 50 HP.
Yeah.
So they get the kill on Smeb, but does it matter? Not really. He's got his ultimate. He has a just enormous CS advantage. He has TP if he needs to get back into lane. He's not going to lose a whole lot from this.
Yep. Turns his swords into a dagger. It's easier to carry that way.
It's a dirk.
Dirk, my bad.
That's right. You take your
What's
two
the difference
long
between
swords.
a dirk and a dagger?
I don't know. You take your 2 long swords and turn them into a shorter, wimpier sword.
Oh. Ixu and Snowflower may be in a little bit of trouble in the top lane here. The dive coming in. And there we go. Epic Pulverize. Ixu locked up the cocoon, taken down immediately. TP coming in just in case. Here's the exhaust on the Snowflower to help secure that one. They're going to throw in Gorilla with the Fate's Call to clean that up.
Well, they had the TP available. That could have been a predictable play because the wave is huge, but it's moving back towards Songyun's tier 2. Yeah. So easy dive there. Teleport right onto the Spiderling for some cleanup. We see Smeb get an assist as a result, and now he's just going to help take out another turret, and there is no response possible from the Afreeca Freecs. They can't take the tier 1 on the bottom side. There is no dragon. And so they're going to freeze with this Corki instead, and I don't know if that's the right call. Meanwhile, Prey now has 3 kills and 1 assist before 10 minutes.
That's a pretty good place for a Kalista to be. And so now...
Nice blue steal, so at least they get something, all right? They take control of some objective on the map. They have a lot of pink wards down right now so that they can at least play safely in their own jungle. But now we get the 1v1 between a level 6 Quinn and a level 4 Lysandra. And Smeb has double the CS that Ixu has. Peanut perfectly safe to be walking around here. He knows he has not seen it all, so it's going to be Gank City.
Yeah, Ixu again. You know, he's got his flash, but does he have a real way to escape? Maybe. Peanut looking for an opportunity. He's just going to take his anger out on the Gromp instead.
A little bit too late there. He used his flash for that dive. He flashed Cocoon. And he's looking. He's hunting, but he's not going to find anybody.
Why?
They know Peanut's there. the ward that Song you saw placed over the wall, and they also have a pink ward that will not be cleared.
Yep.
And their blue buff.
And Mickey's Zed hasn't really gotten a lot done yet, and if it doesn't get anything done in the near future, that might just be a dead Zed.
I like it though. Yeah, the Freecs went for the Hail Mary here. I think they knew that their odds of winning a third game were very slim.
Yeah.
So they try and blind pick the Zed. They play Lysandra and Corki all with these huge gap closers and immense bursts, and they say, all right, if we can make a pick, then we might be able to snowball this game. And unfortunately for them, that they had a disaster strike at the beginning of the game on that first jungle camp, and it was just played beautifully by the Tigers. And they find themselves in a hole that they are unlikely to escape from.
Yeah, the ROX Tigers maybe not taking that first or second game too terribly seriously, but game 3, it looks like it's all business again.
One really wonders about that draft in game number 1 when the TF was still up. I think they could have anticipated what was coming a little bit better. It's not rocket science to know that Mickey plays Twisted Fate.
Dragons back again. And the ROX Tigers is going to go for it immediately. This would be their second dragon in the game. And Afreeca Freecs can't really stop it.
So early, too. So early into this one. Kuro playing with a Morello Nomicon first here in the mid lane, so not a lot of respect shown for this Zed. No early Seeker's arm guard or anything like that. He is just very sure that he is going to be A-okay, even with just the wild growth.
Bold.
Mickey at least pulling a little bit more respectfully with that X-Drinker.
Yep. Wow, Ixu just cannot do anything right now. He's done 39 to 82 CS.
And that late swap was just a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, the late... This is why sometimes that weak side jungling, if you have the right warding pattern, you catch it out and you just all in them. You could just end up with enormous CS leads for your top lane because they didn't have the personnel there to take down the turret as fast.
Oh, Songin in trouble already. Smeb comes in to try to capitalize on that cocoon. Keenan has to back away. Smeb actually taking some damage here. There's Kuro though. Nice glitter lance for the slow, and Lyra tries to get into the Baron bit. Doesn't make it all the way through his own tunnel though. He never came out the other side.
Burns to death.
Oh, flash. There's the slow again. Deathmark comes in, and Kuro just get a wild growth himself. The Zed is not a problem. Meanwhile, Cocoon into exhaust, into Whimsy. Mickey unable to do anything, and here comes Smeb with the ult for the cleanup.
Wow, that was a great flash from Smeb there to clean up that kill, and
yeah.
Another few go over to the ROX Tigers. They try to push up in that top side. They end up just overextending. Certainly Ixu will pick up a few CS out of this, but that is not a worthy trade. Peanut, what are you doing?
Oh no, Peanut, why? You were doing so well.
He's just gonna get prey secret.
Yep.
3,
Up,
2.
dodge.
Oh!
He dodged it. 8 legs, he's pretty fast. Up, but there's the slow for the pillar. Lyra gets him with the easy Q. Peanut doesn't care though. He's like, yeah, stat lines.
Easy Q is what
It's his rapper name.
You would get if you combine OQ and Easy Hoon together into one player.
Easy Q. It would be simultaneously the most risky and safe player of all time.
A paradox that would.
That's right.
Boggle our minds.
Cannot exist in this realm. Easy Q. Well, at least the Afreeca Freecs used the kill on the Peanut to take the Rift Herald for whatever good that'll do them.
I feel like Easy Q would play Ziggs and then clear out a lane followed by Satchel charging straight into a turret.
That's right. He would be the guy at the end of the game, Satchel charging into the fountain too. Yeah, this guy. He'd like ult himself. He's like, well, if they come in, if they attack me, then I just ult myself, and then they get hit every time. Easy. Cute. Oh, teleport coming in. Peanut trapped a little bit. Mickey coming from the side. ROX Tigers playing it a bit dangerously now. Gorilla and Peanut trying to come from the bottom here, and the Afreeca Freecs are going to turn around right on them. Ixu with the lockdown, and Bray manages to pull Gorilla out in time, but you can't pull out Peanut. The chase continues.
Well, Smeb actually canceled his TP to try and engage on that, but there was just no follow-up there. They tried to wrap around the backside with Gorilla, to continue that engagement. They just lose 2 members, and they're going to lose their blue buff. Oh, Prey got it.
He did, but will he be in trouble for that? Gorilla will be at least. There's a knock up on a Prey from Rek'Sai. Kuro from behind. Kuro does not have his ultimate right now. Smeb gets a nice flank, not able to get enough damage, and this is getting a little bit silly now. And Two-Headed Wolves decide to show up, take a bite out of Songyun. Yeah, it's getting a little bit lazy by the ROX Tigers again.
Wow, this is exactly the way to get this pick composition with a lot of burst damage back into this game. They're a little bit lucky that Nikki actually hasn't picked up any of these kills yet to start what could be a very threatening split push, but really caught out of position there, continuing to take fights at that blue buff and then not being able to disengage fast enough. They're not respecting the Lissandra and Trundle zoning potential here and their ability to CC and catch them as they try and disengage.
Yeah, I think the ROX Tigers need to tighten things up a little bit. They were doing so well, and then just got a little bit over aggressive. The fights they've been taking in the last few minutes have not been good. Snowflower's been really good with those pillars on the Trundle too. Oh, and Kuro, that slow really makes a big difference.
Got plenty of disengage this time though, and I think they've decided they are just going to be satisfied with playing around their Quinn right now, as Ixu is so delayed on his Rod of Ages. I mean, he's just never really going to be a threat until maybe 30 minutes into this game, and that's going to miss Lissandra's main power spike. So they don't have to worry about him.
Kun on to Snowflower, they get the knockup as well. Prey with a lot of damage, nice headbutt. Snowflower just completely caught out there. They're gonna get the turret too. And how far will they chase? Looks like not at all. They got a kill, they got a turret, and suddenly ROX Tigers playing a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ixu kills a ward.
More methodical, but Ixu not willing to push up all the way to the turret and try and take that objective down. Knows that everybody could just pile on down through the river right now. They didn't have enough wards to protect themselves, but Zed will get a nice big wave in the top lane. Ixu's still here. Prey.
Yeah, Prey in a lot of trouble. Gets ulted by that Lissandra. Lear comes in for the knockup as well. Prey.
That was a clever bait there by Ixu.
Yeah.
He was gone off the map for a really long time, and Prey just thought he had decided to recall because he wasn't putting pressure down, but instead he was just looking for the lane assignment of Prey, and they're going to pick up another kill onto this Kalista.
Still behind in gold a bit, but maybe they can tilt them if they do it enough. I think it's going to take more than that, though. I don't know. It's hard to tilt the ROX Tigers.
There's also a dragon up right now, and this is going to be dragon number 3 at sub 20 minutes. So ROX here, as long as they play around this dragon decisively once Prey comes back up, they're looking at a 31-minute, 32-minute 5th dragon. So that's going to be pretty nice for them. They got their first dragon just 6 minutes into the game.
All right, it's dragon time. Peanut gonna start it. They're gonna have the ward. There we go. Pulling down to the pit. And the Freecs have to try to stop this one. Prey still coming down the lane. Mickey not nearby either, and he doesn't have that teleport. So no way to stop this. Gonna go for a steal. Doesn't work out. That's 3 dragons now for the ROX Tigers.
Magical Prey Seeker. It was actually a Dragon Seeker that time. Didn't get Prey at all.
Nope, that did not tell him where Prey was.
It's really not a very accurately named ability. In fact, I find in League of Legends it rarely hits Prey out of all the times it's used.
It doesn't really seek them out either. It kind of just goes in a straight line, you know? Caught like the Prey hitter, but it's not, doesn't guarantee you anything.
The Prey Poker.
Prey poker.
Even then, it's not very good at its job.
No. And the Rift Herald can't stand it. Just buy a Rift Herald.
So QSS here from Smeb, and this means that he is anticipating split pushing against Zed. He wants to be assigned to the Zed lane at all times. If the Death Mark comes in, he will just cleanse it right off and continue the duel. So even though that MR not going to be useful against Zed's damage straight up, removing the Death Mark and the amplification that that brings will be quite handy when it comes to that one-on-one.
Prey just holding down the mid while Smeb goes back to the split pushing. Pretty elementary stuff.
Smeb doesn't want to take this fight right now. I don't know what the item thresholds are for this Quinn with a QSS to take on Mickey's head, especially since Mickey has that Ignite. He may have to try and get that ability out before he's truly able to one-on-one.
Looks like he wanted to go back and buy a little bit more before he tried it. Well, the Freecs do take the blue buff at least. Now, here we go. He's going in onto Mickey. Mickey just using that Yomu's to back off.
Still big chunk taken out. But they're just trying to split push with the TP in top lane right now, and Smeb has to zoom all the way across the map to deal with this. That is the edge. Afreeca does again have the stronger 1-3-1, just like they did last game, and only one person able to respond in the top side, but Smeb is so fast. He actually used his ult to travel all the way across the map, and he still managed to get most of the farm out of the way.
Yeah, Quinn's pretty quick. In case you haven't noticed.
I think ROX just plays around 5 dragons right now. There's no need to push this forward. Uh-oh, TP.
Oh, TP. Yeah, they're going to try to get Kuro here. Mickey comes in. There's a wild growth already. Kuro caught anyway. Nice pick by the Freecs.
So they get the pick, but they have to get an objective off of this, because if they don't, they just use the TP, which brought them less map control in the long run. So that, as weird as it sounds, killing Kuro right there when there's no objective left to take may not be the worst thing for the ROX Tigers, especially if they can trade a tier 1 for a tier 2.
Well, Smeb is pushing that tier 2 right now. And meanwhile, the tier 1, or rather the tier 2 in mid, is under a bit of threat too.
Yeah, they pushed the way forward, so okay, you killed Lulu, but honestly now, the Tigers have a long period where they don't have to worry about a 1-3-1 split push anymore.
Yeah, Smeb's got to avoid the gank there in top lane.
They get some nice farm also, just mopping that up, and that's not, it's not the best trade there. I mean, they didn't trade anything, they just picked up a kill, but TP down, and nothing really lost when it comes to pressure from the Tigers. And if they're just going to play around the dragon, that didn't lose them a dragon or anything like that. I mean, it looks like a good play, but that commitment of the TP is actually going to bring them down, because now Kuro can walk and actually be in lane against Mickey.
Afreeca Freecs have been slowly catching up in this gold deficit too.
Yeah, but there's an all-in going on the bottom side right here.
Yep. Well, Su gets out with his E though.
Yeah, this is the problem, because now that there's one TP, I mean, Smeb has TP, so as long as Lulu can actually push, Lulu still doesn't have any sign of a Zhonya's Hourglass, so that's not good against this Zed, but they're still able to take control again, and there's still Smeb threatening to TP behind this Zed, which means Zed can't actually get into lane against this Lulu.
Smeb, or rather Kuro recalling right now. Smeb just waiting again, but it doesn't look like Ixu's going to push up and be caught out. And I mean, I think we're seeing the ROX Tigers do exactly what you talked about. You know, they don't seem to be really pressuring the lanes all that hard, kind of just waiting for those dragons.
But I think losing Kuro and getting the TP was a totally worthwhile trade for the ROX Tigers.
Yep. Well, meanwhile, Mickey goes in onto Peanut. Peanut taking some damage from that death mark.
No,
he's okay, I guess. Never mind. Yeah.
He's pretty tanky there.
Yep. I said some damage, not a lot of damage. He takes an amount of damage.
Already has Dead Man's
Here
Blade.
comes Smeb. Aha! I've spotted Ixu, and now zoning away with that E. Ixu manages to use it anyway, but he's not going to escape Smeb this time. Ults himself. Hanging out. A little bit more damage, and Gorilla comes in. Oh, I thought he was going to steal it. Didn't even get the assist. Poor guy. Made the effort to walk all the way down and got nothing for it. I feel for you, Gorilla.
It's all right.
I know how it is.
That was the touchdown dance at the end of the kill right there.
It's true. It's good.
Spikes the ball so hard that the ground fractures underneath him.
That's excessive celebration.
Not in League of Legends, Joe. Good thing we don't have penalties for that.
Oh man, well, there should be penalties for that anyway.
I agree.
Yeah.
We should excessively celebrate all the time.
Well, not all the time, only for things that deserve celebration.
Does killing Ixu deserve celebration?
A little bit maybe.
Was that sufficient celebration?
Yeah. Like blocking a pass in football, that doesn't deserve like excessive celebration unless it's like a big deal. If it's just a regular play, no. Let's get back to the line. ROX Tigers going for their 4th Baron. Lyra really needs to steal this one. It would be big for the Freecs. Trying it out. Nope, no such luck. Now Lyra has to flash just to get out.
Yeah, afraid of Gorilla's flank. He still had flash up. So he would have died if the flash pull into headbutt backward had come through.
Yep.
But now 4 dragons up, 31 minutes will be number 5 attempted here by the Tigers. They have TP up, so at least there is some hope now because you see Smeb versus Ixu in that top side. What they want though is they want Zed versus Quinn. And then they want to TP the Lysandra if there's an objective to be taken. But with the Baron up, if they kill Smeb, they may be able to Baron now. That's the big difference.
Well, they're going to start it at least.
Deploys.
That is bold. Smeb's got to know something.
He's got his blue trinket.
Yeah.
There we go, he sees it.
Yep, that's right, they know.
How fast can they respond?
Well, the Freecs still going for it. They're going to back off now. Here comes Peanut, though. On his own, not too worried. Gets slowed. Doesn't hit the cocoon, though, so looks like the Freecs will be able to get away.
Afreeca really getting desperate.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But what are you going to do? I would not be confident that they were going to win this one either. They have to fight with a pick composition around the next dragon. And with the lead the Tigers have, probably not going to make that work. Very few good targets. Now, Bray and Smeb both have QSS against Lysandra and Zed.
Yeah.
So any CC or death marks are going to be cleared very quickly.
Uh-oh, Lyra just completely caught in the 1v4. That was easy. Nice cocoon by Peanut to make sure he didn't get away. And that's going to be a tier 2 turret. Almost certainly.
He's going to try and trade this for something at least.
It's going to take him a while to get there, though. And
Yeah,
now
it's
it's
Baron
Baron time, yep.
Well, good luck, Afreeca, trying to fight this Baron. You're going to have to try, though.
Ixu's got his teleport, so at least he can join his team, even though it will be a 4v5. And here we go. Snowflower. Oh, all right, Baron does go over to the ROX Tigers pretty easily. Snowflower gets locked up by the cocoon hit against Songyun on his own. Has to flash from the wall to escape. Mickey tries to come in, but just gets blown up immediately without doing a whole lot of damage. And Ixu and Snowflower having to split up. There's an easy kill by Smeb. Got the double already.
Here it's bird time.
Oh, that's right. Do you fear the birds? Oh, Zonia's. And then, all right, triple kill. Unofficially for Smeb. And that would be near the ace. Lyra coming up in time to prevent it from being so, but ROX Tigers now with that Baron buff are looking pretty unstoppable.
You can just power right through at least one inhibitor here. Death timer still at 25 seconds. We'll see how far the ROX Tigers are willing to go. But Smeb, you know, Mickey tried to ult Smeb. Smeb just immediately cleared it, turned around and killed him in the 1v1.
Yep, and there's one inhibitor down. And they can just back off and play it safe until the next dragon, or really whatever they want to do.
Yeah, why not? You got 2 minutes until the next dragon. You have that inhibitor down. Go for the guaranteed win with dragon number 5. Banner of Command now down for Peanut. Great pickup. How are they going to clear a banner minion with Baron buff? There's no way. There's no way they can clear that cannon minion unless Vicky starts just walking up and trying to throw shurikens at it. And if he does that, he is dead.
That's exactly what the ROX Tigers want.
A dead Mickey.
Yep. And you'd have to think that 5th dragon is going to be coming soon. Our timers aren't working for some reason today, but
yeah, it's coming up.
It'll be soon.
In about a minute.
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly a minute. Yeah, I don't know why our overlay timers are not working, guys.
At least our internal timers are working just fine.
Yeah, so I just keep track of it in my head.
Oh, I just estimate.
like you had to do, you know, when the game was harder, when jungling was a man's job, and you had to time things yourself. That's right.
Ah, those were the days, weren't they?
Real men play jungle, timing things.
Right.
It's a skill, communicating it to your opponents, not just pressing tab.
Yeah, they type in chat sometimes, and it wasn't just to say repot 9x.
Oh, that was actually a really good pillar. Nice job.
Oh, it pushed the cannon minion forward, yeah.
Into smite range.
Yep.
Cute.
It was adorable. I remember the days back when adorable and cute were man's words. That's right. The good old days. You can't really go on a tirade about, Mickey trying to do something, trying to get away, not going to make it. I was going to say, you can't really go on a tirade about something being back in the man's world and then be like, that was cute.
Yes, I can.
I don't know. Well, I do know that the ROX Tigers should be able to clear out the game right here. Afreeca Freecs pushed all the way back to their fountain. Peanut having a great time. And the fight continues. They catch Lyra. Wild growth on the Gorilla just in case. Sonya cannot get into the fountain. And Snowflower lives only to watch his Nexus die. And so in the end, the ROX Tigers get serious, get the win. GG.
They didn't even wait for the 5th dragon to come up, Doa. It was almost up, and they couldn't get it, but decisive win there. I know what Afreeca was trying to do, and they played well today against an opponent that is just simply stronger than them. And so they made a calculated risk in the last game. Maybe we can use our best champions to try and take these guys out and get the big upset. They couldn't do it, but I think Afreeca should be proud of what we saw them do in game 1 and 2. They executed very efficiently. They had a good win in game number 2. They had a strong start in game number 1. But man, that level 1 from the ROX Tigers was quite clever, and they punished that lane swap super hard.
Oh yeah. He's seizing control immediately. And so the ROX Tigers move to 6-0 on the season as far as match score goes, remaining undefeated here in the first round.
Yeah, 12-3 in terms of games.
Yep. And it doesn't look like they're going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Certainly does not. Well, we have another series coming up. SK Telecom. Faker will be starting for all of you people who are wondering out there alongside Bengi.
That's right. So when we come back, Spenu versus SKT, don't miss it. We'll be back for more Champion Spring, another best of 3 right after this.